And now, BillyCBoxing.com presents Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down with Billy C. Here he is, Billy C.
Thank you, Jeremy C. We're coming at you from the Billy C studio in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Caballero, and it's time for BillyCBoxing.com's professional boxing's Thumbs Up and Thumbs Down for today, October 8th. Man, I wish it was still August. October 8th in the year 2012. Just a reminder real quick, check out www.BillyCBoxing.com. Cast your vote. If you're as a matter of fact, let me take a second. If you don't know about our regular show, which has been being broadcast for the last 10 years on radio and now television through the Fight Now channel, check it out, www.BillyCBoxing.com. We do 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, only a boxing talk show that does that. And we are excited about entering our 10th year. And, we want to thank all the listeners around the planet, because we do have listeners and viewers around the world that, are loyal to us and stick with us and all that stuff. So I just want to thank you guys for that one. But anyway, our thumbs up goes to Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. For his come-behind knockout victory over Jonathan Oquendo to improve to 22 wins, 2 losses, and a draw, with 19 of his W's coming by knockout. Vasquez Jr. Was basically down on all the scorecards. Well, at least they were down on my unofficial card after the first half of the fight. But he came on strong and eventually battered Jonathan Oquendo into submission at 2 minutes and 33 seconds of the 7th round. I give this kid a lot of credit, especially since I always was giving him credit, but I always kind of was picking against him. He didn't have an amateur career. He had some big footsteps to follow in his pops, who was a former world champion himself. Plus, he started a little late, so, all of the things going against him. And he's a real fighter, man. He's a guy that not only I recommend that you keep an eye on, and if you haven't seen him, maybe punch him up and watch some of his stuff. But I think he's going to be around for a while, and I enjoy watching him fight. And prior to his win over Oquendo, no negativity in losing to a fighter like Nonito Donaire. So I give Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. all the credit in the world. Big victory, and he gets a thumbs up for today. Thumbs up today goes to this is kind of a catch-22, but I'm giving Celestino Caballero and the WBA a thumbs up for their stupidity. That's right. I'm happy that they both ended up with egg on their face. So therefore, I'm giving them a thumbs up. In case you haven't been following it, Celestino Caballero is a fighter that I guess thinks very highly of himself. And unfortunately, a lot of people in the sport of boxing thought pretty highly of him, too, after his win over Steve Molitor. And, some people have him in his pound-for-pound rankings and everything else. I always had my reservations about Celestino Caballero. And with this last episode, the WBA tried to, play ball with Caballero. They put him as a priority. They actually worked against several promoters to keep Caballero away from them. And the end result was they, gave Caballero a purse bid for his mandatory title defense against Nicholas Walters. And as luck would have it, as our thumbs up would have it, they won a purse bid of $50,000, which means no money pretty much for the fighters. And Caballero, as a result, thinks that he's worth way more. I don't know about that, but he thinks he is. And as a result, he's given up the WBA title. He's even talked a little trash about the WBA in the press. And therefore, I am giving both Celestino Caballero and the WBA a thumbs up for looking so stupid today. And finally, my last thumbs up goes to all the new blood we got with BillyCBoxing.com. Our show, not only is our show successful, but our website that we unleashed less than 2 years ago, the BillyCBoxing.com website, is doing very well with hits and rankings and all that stuff. But what I'm giving them a thumbs up for today is all the new blood we got. We got a great new staff of writers coming on board. They're all being regular contributors and doing a fantastic job. If you haven't had a chance to read some of their stuff, go on up to BillyCBoxing.com Not only do you see some of the stuff on the main page, but on the right side, there's two menu options. One's on the right side of the screen, one's on the left side. The right side of the screen has several new writers and columns in there. Check it out. I think you're going to be a fan if you give them a chance, and you'll be following their columns from here on in. So thumbs up to all of our new blood on BillyCBoxing.com. Now, thumbs down goes to BJ Flores. That's right, BJ Flores. Once again, this guy's pounding his chest and calling out for world title shots after beating a bum. BJ Flores, I like the job he does. I want to start off by saying I like the job he does as a boxing commentator. I think he does a great job. That's it. Hang up the gloves, BJ, because you suck in the ring. All right? You don't fight him. And that's the sad thing. I shouldn't even say that, because he does display some talent. The problem is he never fights anybody of note. This is a scared little girl that won't fight any tough opponents, yet he walks around with a T-shirt that says, anyone, anytime, any place, which is such a BS shirt. This is a guy that looks for the easiest half-alive opponents he could find, like his victory this past weekend. I give a thumbs down to the biggest fraud in the sport of boxing, BJ Flores. I also give a thumbs down to today's boxing fans who are putting too much emphasis in undefeated records. Man, listen, there's one thing of being undefeated and being that good and fighting all the best opposition, but it's a totally other thing when you're looking at an undefeated record and assuming a fighter is good. And when you really look at who they're fighting nobody. It scares me, just like Alex Papali and myself were talking about on the show today, on the Talking Boxing with Billy C show, that, 50 years from now, I'm afraid that, and I'm certainly not going to be around, but I'm afraid that, there's going to be some youth that are alive today. They're going to be the old guys talking about the history of the sport, and they're going to be forgetting about the great fighters, and they're going to be talking about some of these current fighters today who have O's that everybody think is so great, and I don't think they should be getting those accolades. So I'm kind of giving a thumbs down to fight fans that are just going by the O's, man. Read a little, will you? Go back and read some stuff, and I don't mean read one book. If you're going to read about, let's say, a Jack Johnson, read 3 or 4 or 5 books about Jack Johnson, then make an opinion, because every writer has his own or her own interpretation. So thumbs down goes to the fans that put too much emphasis in O's. Don't get me wrong, an O is a good thing, but don't base the whole quality of that fighter on the O. I also give a thumbs down to the New Zealand for refusing Mike Tyson. Hey, listen, I could see them refusing a criminal. You get Joe Schmo that murdered people, you get this one that rapes this one, that one, and they let them into a country. They can, infiltrate the country and maybe, create a crime. Do a crime. But Mike Tyson is a guy that, number one, I'm not going against what New Zealand's policies are, but Mike Tyson is a guy that's certainly not going to be unnoticed. This is a guy that's going to be surrounded by security and everything else from the minute he steps off the plane until the minute he gets back on the plane. I think this was a stupid thing, and I got to give a thumbs down to New Zealand, man. Sorry, what else is over there in New Zealand? Anyway, thumbs down to New Zealand. And finally, thumbs down to Team Conacy for attempting to pull the old wool trick. They were pulling the glove or the wool or something over the eyes of K2 Promotions and Banks and Gurov. In case you missed it, as they were inspecting gloves, Team Conacy brought in their own gloves that were from some unknown company that said 10 ounces on it, and thank goodness for the team of Banks and Gurov that they noticed that these gloves looked a little strange, and they had them weighed, and guess what? They were 8-ounce gloves. It seemed like there was shenanigans going on. It was nipped in the bud. I give a thumbs up for Banks and Gurov's team for seeing it, but a big thumbs down for Team Conacy. You could say you didn't know anything about it, but I'm not so sure. Hey, man, that concludes our thumbs up, thumbs down for today. Make sure you tune in next time. Ciao, baby.